Alrighty, let's see what we got today. Allies and prosperity. Looks like a pretty weak kingdom, all things considered. League of Shopkeepers goes with Underling and only Underling. Actually, maybe that changes things a bit. I was going to say one of the big limitations here is that there's no village, so you can't build anything. Underling will actually become a village once you've played enough copies of it. After your 10th Underling will just be a village that also gives money and a buy. Uh, so with that in mind, we got Marquis for draw. There's also a little bit of draw on the Odysseys pile with Distant Shore, though it comes with an estate. And then for villages, there's Underling. For trashing, there's Investment, Modify, and Expand. For plus buy, Marquis, Galleria, Underling again. And then lots of gainers, Expand, Modify, War Chest, Sunken Treasure. You can all gain things. Voyage. You can probably accomplish a decent amount of stuff on your voyage turns. Playing a modify, playing a war chest, getting an underling played. So voyage looks pretty good. Barbarian looks annoying. Feels like a card the bot's gonna click and it's gonna make me sad. I don't know that it's actually that great here. It just looks like a nuisance. Okay, how to open. Probably the 4 ought to be investment. The 3 could either be old map or underling. I do want underlings. They're gonna be very good at some point. So taking underling early means I'm getting started on counting up to 10. Old map is a lot more directly useful immediately, though. I think I prefer old map. Cycles to the investment, gives me control over this pile. I probably want voyage early if I can get it. Dot agrees. Uh, this is the thing that makes old map's order annoying. It's not like Fugitive where you draw 2 and discard 1. I would prefer to trash an estate. Those bottom 6 cards have 3 coppers and 3 estates. If I discard an estate and draw into an estate, I'm happy, because then I can still trash an estate. If I draw an estate and draw into a copper, I'm unhappy because I trash a copper over an estate. But if I discard a copper and then draw into an estate, I only hit 3. Whereas if I discard a copper and draw into a copper, I'm fine, because then I could trash this one estate. So each of these has one good outcome, one bad outcome, and it's like 50-50 either way. I think the downside of hitting 3 instead of 4 is less bad than the downside of trashing a copper over an estate early, so I'm going to discard the copper. It looks like I got what I wanted anyway. Go ahead and take that voyage now. And an underling here. I would love it so much if I could rotate this pile, which I can before the bot gets the voyage. There's pretty severely diminishing value to having multiple voyages, because if you have decent deck control, you just play the one. So I'd rather have just the one and not have 0. And a second investment, probably. And then underlings for a little bit. I'm not going to hit 5 super fast for this deck, but once I get to 5 favors, the underlings will all make me +1 coin. Uh, and then I'll be hitting 5 kind of trivially from there on out. So I think I'm okay not hitting 5 immediately. Okay, so I can play 3 total cards here on the voyage turn. Probably underling investment and buy nothing. Looks the best. I could. So with investment, the trashing is not optional. You have to trash. What you could do is you just play your copper first and then play investment last. So if I want a 5, I can just do this. That might be the play. An early sunken treasure has a lot of good target. You can gain a copy of Marquis, expand, modify, barbarian even. Yeah, I think I prefer this. It solved the problem I was contemplating earlier of not having a very immediate pathway to bigger numbers. Also, it's a treasure, so when I go to pop these investments, that'll be good. I got 5 again. What do I want now? War Chest has some targets, but honestly not that many. There's not that much at the 5 cost price point. I would think in general, War Chest is probably usually better than Sunken Treasure. Not that they are in the same kingdom that often, but usually you have a lot of critical cards at exactly 5. 5 is the most common price point in Dominion. Here, a lot of the stuff you want is at 6 and 7, so I think War Chest doesn't look all that great. Maybe just one more Underling for now. Play that. Play that. Play this. And another Underling. 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 Leave that there. Alright, now I got some villages to work with. I think I like the idea of adding 2 more keys this turn. I'll be drawing pretty consistently. Because I gotta do it. No, I can trash 2. I was thinking I had to do the thing where I play investment last. Well, new consideration. What if I do this, trash that one for 3 victory points, then gain a marquee, and then do this? So I trash 1 copper instead of 2, but I get one of those investments back out of my deck at what I think is an opportune time. I like getting both marquees in the same turn, because once I bought a marquee, the Sunken Treasure wouldn't be able to gain marquees anymore, because I'd be most likely having a marquee in play each turn. Now I just need to find an Underling. A marquee can draw. And yeah, now I got my deck in my hand. Okay. Time to add payload, which probably means this can gain and expand. And what else? I really actually don't think I care about trashing copper that much, given how much draw I've got all of a sudden, plus some amount of sifting to find a marquee. I think I would rather. I'm just going to get this in play. So now I can do this thing again where I play the investment last. And then I'll just do Horde plus Underling. Or maybe Horde is premature. This could be take the last 2 Underlings and a silver. Underlings are pretty good here. I got 4 of them. I could win the split. 2 Underlings and a silver. Horde is just a silver until I'm buying victory cards. But, I could buy Distant Shore as early as next turn. I think I prefer Horde Underling, and there's a decent chance I'll hit 3 on the Voyage turn and take the last Underling that way. 1. Yeah. So I could play investment, trash it, play Horde and buy a Underling. Or I could. I'm already at 10 favors, so there's no value in having more favors. Uh, I think that just looks like the best option here. All right. Got a Horde. Underling. Marquee. What do I want the expand to gain? Could be a copper into a silver. Could be old map into something, although I kind of like the old map. Uh, yeah, I think I want to keep the old map. As much as it'd be nice to turn that into, say, a second Horde, I want the ability to rotate this pile to see the distant shores. And I can buy distant shore and trigger the Horde off of that. Uh, there's nothing I super want to expand in the bottom 4, I don't think. Probably just copper into silver then. Sunken Treasure will probably eventually run out of useful targets once I got like a copy of everything, but I'm still pretty far from that point. Uh, yeah, I'm not seeing a better target. I think I would have ideally liked to turn something into a horde, play two hordes, buy a distant shore, get two gold off of it. I just don't think I had a good target that I was willing to part with. I can wait. Take a barbarian now. And there's some limits on how much more upward the deck can go. Like Marquis can draw you to 10 consistently, but chaining them together isn't getting you a hand size larger than 10. Villages are also out. So probably scoring soon-ish is in the cards. Another investment sounds good to pop a few more of the, or trash a few more of these coppers and then pop itself for points. Maybe just 3 investments. I think that sounds fine. Okay. For sure I want to play the Sunken Treasure. Don't want to play investment here. So I guess Underling by default. Not a great draw. I saw a bunch of my villages and one of my 2 draw cards. Not much to be done about that. Uh, another expand. Another barbarian. I'll take the barbarian. I do think I need payload. This draw is very bad, and I'm upset. I know I have a bunch of underlings down here. I saw a bunch in that previous hand, but I know I have more underlings. I also have a old map that should have helped me find underlings. This is not ideal. So if I trash here, I hit 5. I think that looks fine. I'm just gonna buy a duchy. I can expand it into province, and it comes with a gold. 1, 2, marquee. Rotate. All right, so the ideal number of cards to have in your hand when you play Marquee is 6, including the Marquee, because it means you'd have 5 after playing the Marquee, and then you'd exactly double to 10 cards in hand, drawing 5 cards. Whereas if you had 5 cards, you draw 4 cards, so fewer. And if you had 7 cards, so 6 cards, not including the Marquee, you draw to 12, discard down to 10, and then you're effectively only increasing your hand size by as much as if you had the 5 card hand. The peak is at 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually should not play the Voyage. If I just play the Expand and not the Voyage, then I'm at the right number. I don't mind top decking a bad card here because I'm about to take my Voyage turn. And the time I really want to find the villages and the draw card is not this next turn, it's the turn after that. Honestly, that might be friendly. You got a stop card off the top of the deck, and investment is not clearly worse than gold. That was also friendly. Yeah, Barbarian sucks. I don't like this card. Go ahead and trash for points. Gain me a distant shore. Oh, that's not a bad card at top deck. That's my Horde at top deck, isn't it? I was thinking I had 2 victory cards down there, but the only victory card's in my hand. Okay. Um, how our piles looking? Investment is super low. Wait a second. I have 9 buys. Oh, I guess the underlings really add up, don't they? Do I have a pile out? Let me go back and reevaluate this. This feels like it might pile out. So I have enough buys to buy out the curses, or to buy out the estates for that matter. Do I have enough money to buy out the estates? Let me check the estates first. So this would cost me 20 money and 9 buys in total. I'm looking at 10, 13, 15, 16. I can't pile the estates in the investment. Sunken Treasure can't gain either of those because it's not an action card. But I do have a Horde on top. So if I could hit 18 and then take my voyage turn. I'm guaranteed to at least be able to buy one estate on the voyage turn. 10, 13, 15, 16, 17. I could hit 18 if I trash the province. But if I trash the province, I don't have enough points at the end of all that. I would score 10 more points. So I'd go from 8 points to 18 points, not quite enough. Um, in all likelihood, I think it would probably be fine for me to just buy like investment in 7 estates or however many, and then, or investment in 6 estates and then plan to hit 4 money next turn. But that is not entirely guaranteed. So let's see if there's a deterministic curse pile out. I can buy out 9 curses. I would also have to gain the investment. So what I would have to do this turn is buy investment in 8 curses, and then buy 1 curse on the voyage turn. But now I have to consider the amount of points. Taking minus 9 points, so go down to 5 each. Gain a distant shore, bringing me up to 7. I can trash copper here for a few points. So the first investment would score me 4. The second investment would score me 2 at 6 points. The curse pile out looks harder to me than the estate pile out, just because it's a very big points difference I have to make up. So I think I'm aiming for the estate pile out pin. Wait a second. Uh, um, this is what I was expecting. I was going to say, wait, why do I have enough money to pile the estates? It's because I also need to factor in the investment. So let's just buy this many. And then, which of these is the worst case scenario? I for sure have a horde on top of my deck, so I have 2 money. I think I would rather buy the 2 estates, because then if I find a silver or a gold or a barbarian, I hit 4 and can buy the last investment. The case for buying the investment now and leaving 2 estates is it's adding 1 card that's okay versus 2 cards that are quite bad. So my average hand is likely to be better. But the downside of buying investment and leaving 2 estates is I have to find plus buy. So like an underling, for example, would do the trick. I think this looks a tad safer. And that's a win. Not entirely sure that going for the slightly uncertain victory there. I mean, I only had to find 4 money, but like it wasn't guaranteed. You can only play 3 cards. That was better than just like scoring a bunch and then planning to win on a future turn. But it seemed relatively safe. Uh, I think getting Voyage here seems pretty significant. You can accomplish a decent amount on your Voyage turn, and I was the only one playing with that. You also won the underling split, which probably matters, and the bot never added a marquee. Once you got the underlings and you got them to 10, marquee is a whole lot of draw here. Yeah, the bot looks pretty behind, actually. Maybe I was in a much safer spot than I thought I was. I probably should have thought about the bot's deck a little bit more. I think if I had realized the bot's deck was this bad, I probably wouldn't have even tried to put that pile out. Just because there was some risk that it went catastrophically awry. And looking at this, I think the chances that I win are close to 100% if I just play it out longer. Oh well.